Hello, and welcome to drillingcontractor.org. I'm Kelly Ainsworth, here at the 2016 IADC HSET conference in Houston. I'm here with Brian Tucker, President of Drilling Services for Pioneer Energy Services. How are you doing today, Brian?
Doing very well, thank you.
In your presentation this morning, you talked about how Pioneer took a look at your pre-job planning process. What prompted you to do this, and what were some of the issues that you identified?
As we've seen over the past 5 years in particular, as well cycles have compressed, and a lot of the times, or a lot of the jobs that we used to consider uncommon and jobs that required a JSA type of very detailed job analysis had now become very common. And we were still using a tool that was better suited for uncommon tasks. In some cases, these meetings were longer than expected. We have examples of rigs, for example, that would run casing that are now running casing every fourth or fifth day, when years ago they might have run casing every 3 or 4 months. So what we wanted to develop was, instead of having a 30-minute meeting that detailed very extensively the same work they had done 5 days ago, is see if we could get a shorter meeting that would really give them the keys to doing the work safely. So by doing that, we created a system utilizing checklists and a tool to facilitate a pre-job conversation. So it's one page. It's a lot quicker than in the past, but what it is, it's much more specific to the actual hazards of the job. We have enough information now about some of our higher risk activities to know exactly what are the things that have gone wrong in the past, and what this tool does is identify those things and make sure we focus on those tasks that are critical to getting the job done right.
Can you explain some of the changes that were made to your process?
The first thing we want to start is we had really no set agenda for what it was going to look like. So we engaged the workforce, starting with drillers, rig managers, and superintendents up to division managers, and we held meetings in different divisions. And we started with a blank sheet of paper, and we wanted to just get their feedback from the ground level of what do they need to work safe, and what are some of the challenges with our current model. And one thing we were continually got feedback on was the value, and that our guys see value in checklists before an operation. So that's kind of how we started. And then we started, well, there are certain tasks that you can't just control through a checklist. We need to have a job conversation about the risk to our hands and fingers, or to our head, or what can actually strike us. So we actually took some practices from other people in the industry and really created a template that involves a checklist plus a pre-job conversation. And this is led by, depending on the task, led by the frontline supervisor. In some cases, it might be the driller. Depending on the task, it might be the rig manager. But what was important to us is that it was concise, and it was simple, and that it stayed on one page.
And when you implemented this new method in the field, what were some of the outcomes that you saw?
The outcomes have been really, I think, very encouraging for us, and in a lot of ways better than we expected. One of the encouraging things from my standpoint is that it hasn't been a push. I think because of how we develop these tools, we got field input, we got field buy-in, and it's something that they see value in, that we created one, and then we had people asking for more. So that's what has been very rewarding for us, and we've created up to this point 12 of these job safety worksheets. And so we were continue to ask for more. So at this point, we'll continue to evaluate that. You know, a lot of things have happened since 2013 in the industry. We have a much more experienced workforce than we had back in 2013, 2014. But after you take out normalization for reduced rig hours, and you compare that reduction in injuries in jobs where we have not had these JSWs, has reduced 10%. And the work that we've had, which are the high risk operations that include this job, that have a job safety worksheet attached that mitigate those hazards, our incident rate, or actually injuries with those jobs, has decreased 48%. So it has made a difference with our workforce.
Well, thank you for joining us today and sharing those great results with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on drillingcontractor.org.